What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Thanks for watching. This video is going to be about the #1 mod you need if you work on your own BMW. For those of you who have already subscribed, you know I'm a DIYer. I love wrenching on my own cars here in my garage. I'm a BMW guy at heart, so I've got my daily 335 and my race car 135 over there. I'm always having BMWs. So one of the biggest things you're gonna do if you work on your own cars is take the wheels on and off. You gotta do it for a variety of different jobs. It's probably the #1 thing that you do when you're working on your own vehicle. Thankfully, I have the Max Jacks lift here, which makes life a little bit easier. I'm loving that thing so far. I've got some questions as to how it's holding up, what I think of it. It's been great. 10 out of 10, would definitely recommend. I've got a video where I installed this basically in my garage here. I'll link that up in the top right hand corner if you're interested in watching that. But as you can see, I've got the 335 on the lift here, got one of the wheels off. I have a set of snow tires I'm putting on as we're coming into the snow season here. So I've got new snow tires. I love snow tires. If you live in a climate where you get snow tires. I'm replacing these Michelin tires here on my stock wheels and putting these ones on. But this brings up the topic of the video. As you can see, I've got studs on here. If you work on your own BMW, you know how nice it is to have studs on your car, because otherwise they come from the factory with these lug bolts. So you gotta get the wheel, balance it on this center hub here, and then finesse these little bolts in through the holes on the wheels and balance it all. It's a pain in the butt to have to deal with these lug bolts. I hate these things. I don't know why BMW chose to use them. It's probably my only complaint when it comes to these cars. So on every BMW, I put a wheel stud conversion kit in. This makes swapping wheels out, off, on so much easier, and it also allows you to run a spacer. Since you know these are a lot longer, you can throw a spacer on, a big one, a small one, you know, whatever, and you don't have to compensate with longer lug bolts. Because usually if you run a spacer on a BMW, you got to put the spacer on and then get longer bolts because the factory ones won't be long enough. Well, with the stud conversion, you don't have to worry about that. So it's great if you're running spacers, and it's great if you're always just swapping wheels on and off. I've had a stud conversion kit on my 135 for years. I've had this thing, and the number of times I've taken the wheels off, I can't imagine doing it with those dumb lug bolts. So these are seriously a lifesaver, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to go about installing this kit. Obviously I already have the front passenger side done on the car. I wanted to show you guys how that works, but I've got the other 3 corners here to do, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how to do it. It's super simple. If you change your own wheels and tires at home, you can install this kit, and at the same time, like I was talking about before, I've got some spacers for these winter wheels. I just think it's going to look nicer if I push them out a little bit so they're not so sunk in. I know if I add a spacer in there, I've got 12.5 mil for the front. You can see the thickness there, and I've got 15 mil for the rear, and you can see the thickness there. Alright, so the first step is obviously to remove the wheel. It's a BMW, it should be a 17 mil. At least that's what it is on these 3 series and 1 series. So as you can see, I am removing the lug bolts here, and on the last one, I got one more left. This wheel could just drop off because there's no studs holding it on. So as you can see, I mean, it comes off nice like that, and then there are no studs like you guys saw on the other side. So you just gotta, like, when it comes to putting this on, it sucks because you have to have the holes all lined up perfectly. So you gotta sit here and spin it around, and then if the rotor's spinning at the same time, it's hard. So this is just a pain for me. You're gonna thank yourself if you don't have a stud kit and you go ahead and install one. So let's go ahead and get that thing installed. So the kit will come with 20 of these studs and 20 of these lug nuts. I'm going to set the lug nuts aside because I'm not going to need them yet. But the way you tighten these is there's a 5mm Allen head on each stud. So you'll see there's a short end, a short threaded end. That's the end we're going to thread in there. And then we're going to need a 5mm Allen head key here to tighten this. So I've got my torque wrench. These do have to be torqued down to about 25 foot-pounds. And I also have some red thread locker. I would highly recommend putting that on this end before you thread it in. But overall, my impressions of this kit are that it's great quality. I opted for the black on black kit. I think it's gonna look good with those black wheels. But the hardware seems of really high quality. No jagged edges. All the lug nuts are nice and smooth and tapered on all ends. So my impressions of this kit are great. I'll let you guys know how it holds up long term. But I'm pretty happy putting this on. And honestly, it feels really nice. So let's go ahead and get this on. So let's put some red thread locker on this. Basically, you just want a dab of that on there. And then we're gonna go ahead and hand thread that in. And you're gonna repeat that for the other 4. So again, just putting a dab of that on and just going all the way around. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, anyone can do this, and it's gonna make your life a hell of a lot easier. Now with them all hand tight, I've got my torque wrench here with the 5mm Allen key. I've got this set to 25 foot-pounds. The only thing you're gonna notice is on the fronts, as I go to tighten this, the whole rotor is gonna move. See how that moves? So you can either have a friend push on the brake pedal for you, otherwise I have a screwdriver here, and what I can do is just use it to leverage the rotor so it doesn't move. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use this screwdriver. That way I don't have to bother my girlfriend to have her come out here. And we just go around until they're all torque tight. And just like that, we're done. This literally takes 30 seconds to do as you're already changing your wheels. And at this point, if you're not using a spacer, you would just throw the wheel on and tighten the lug nuts. But like I said, I am gonna use a spacer, so I'm gonna get that on there now and then put the wheel on. All right, so I've got the spacer here. This is a 12.5 mil from ECS Tuning. This is nice, it's got the dual bolt pattern. It also has little cutouts here for you to fit a screwdriver in, because you won't realize if you just got a flat piece of spacer in there, to get it off later, it's usually pretty hard. So it's nice that they've got these little relief cutouts there. And it also is hub centric on the inside, and it's got the outside hub there. So this also fits really well. I'm impressed with these spacers. You don't want to cheap out on wheel studs or spacers. I don't like going cheap on stuff that is holding your car to the ground. So I've got nice tires, nice wheels, spacers, hubs, and then all it takes is just tossing this up, throwing it on the studs like so, and grab our lug nuts. Easy peasy. Don't have to worry about lining anything up. Don't have to worry about it falling off. Just makes wheel and tire changing so much easier. That's that. Now I just got to do the other 2 in the back, and I'm going to get this thing on the ground and see how it looks on these new wheels and tires. Well, it was easy as that. I got all the wheel stud conversions on each wheel. I've got all the wheels on. So the last thing I want to do is go ahead and drop this thing down and see what it looks like. I can already tell I probably could have went with a little bit bigger spacer in the front and the back, but I bought the spacers for the stock wheels. So I kind of measured according to these wheels. but I think it's obviously better that I put them on these than leave them off. So let's go ahead and lower this lift down and see what we're working with. Not too bad, not too bad. It's a nice new look for this thing. It doesn't look bone stock anymore. I think these wheels look pretty nice. But I'm more excited that when it comes time to swap wheels out, it's gonna be super easy using this kit. I'd love to know what you guys think, so drop a comment down below, whether it be on the stud conversion kit, or these wheels, or any other BMW related questions. But I'm excited to go tear up some snow in this setup. If you guys are interested, I could leave a review video on these tires. They're the General Ultimax Arctic 12s, the new ones. I've had everything from Blizzaks to cheap snow tires to Pirelli snow tires, and I've had these Ultimax Arctics, which I keep going back to. I really like them. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I apologize for the nasally voice. I'm kind of under the weather, but I had to get these snow tires on, which means I had to make a video for you guys. So give me a thumbs up. I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. And again, everything's linked down in the description below. So I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace.